recap with Angie, Tony, and Brad. We are the OG Floor Podcast. We ain't hating, but them others, they imitating, and they ain't as good. Tonight, we have Tim from season 2, my buddy, Extreme Sports. He's coming on tonight to tell us about episode 8. Episode 8 was fantastic. Jonathan ate that episode and left no crumbs. So, we're going to break it down episode battle by battle, duel by duel, and we're going to get some insight from all of us here at the Floor family and Brad, as always, offering us his ever most objective points of view. So, welcome everybody. Thanks, Tim, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, always fun to have a little mini reunion. And Brad, you know we love you, even though you're kind of an outsider, because without your outside perspective, first of all, one, we wouldn't be having this podcast, and two, you wouldn't be keeping us honest. So we appreciate you, and we hope you're bringing it. And don't hold
I'm bringing
back
it.
tonight.
I got a lot to talk about tonight, but one, anytime you tell me Tim's coming on, I get excited. So you messaged yesterday, you're like, can I get Tim? I'm like, done deal. I do love Tim in the chats. I do love, but it's nice to see the face. It's nice to see the face every now and then.
Thanks, Brad.
You're welcome. And I want to ask you, Tim, what's it like watching the floor with Angie every week? Because she brags on this all the time. Watching the floor with Tim. I'm going to be watching the floor. She not do that, Tony. We're watching the floor. Me and Tim, floor watchers. So what's that like?
He's my buddy, man. We watch it every week.
It's a lot of fun. I get excited to watch it with her. The timing of this season throws me off a little bit because Angie and I are both Central Time folks, and I got to put my kid to bed. It's 7:00 for us, where it's 8:00 for just about everybody else. So, and really, Angie and I could not watch the floor together for the first half of the season because I was coaching my kids' flag football team, and we didn't get done until after the floor started. So I'm not going to jump in halfway and miss like everything, but I'm glad to be watching with Angie again because that's what we do, and we kind of snark on the contestants occasionally, but mostly it's what would you do? What do you think he's going to do? What do you think she's going to do? And I would have done great at this category. I would have done horrible at this category. It's a lot of that, I think.
Yeah, it's good to bounce that off. It's like your interior monologue has an external, listener, and you can bounce that around. And we're really, I think, pretty nice to the contestants. It's more a matter of like, what'd they do that for? And then thinking back and going, oh, yeah, well, maybe this and maybe that. It's kind of fun.
Well, I picked my son up at youth group at 8:15 Central Time. So we come home, and I have YouTube TV, and I watch it already recorded, which is nice because we fast forward through commercials.
Very nice.
And my wife was watching it with us yesterday. She is a proclaimed hater of the floor. And I'm doing my move where I'm like guessing what they're going to. She goes, "You're so cute. You just like to try to guess everything before they show it." And I'm like, that's what I like. She doesn't understand. But yeah, my 12-year-old loves watching it with me. So that's my partner.
Tony, do you watch alone? Do you watch on Hulu next day? Do you catch up?
I watch alone an hour before we start recording because I'm just
so busy. Oh, Tony!
I think I finished the last episode at 8:50.
Well, you ain't no season like your own season. Am I right? I get it.
I just don't have time. Like I literally cannot schedule to watch it. And I would be able to watch it like the day before, but like I don't have cable, so I'm just like waiting for the episode to come out on 2 a.m. and then I don't have time until literally right before we record. So
power move. Power move. If she sets her alarm for 2 a.m., pops up, watches it, and then goes back to bed.
Then go back.
Yep.
I should do that.
That's floor dedication. That's next level. So tonight we've got 9 duels to get through, and some are going to take a little longer than others. We've got some interesting twists and turns and strategies. So I say we get to it and see what we all think. I know last week we left with Ashley. Ashley's one of my favorites. I'm telling you right now, she's like my sleeper victory girl of the season. I would not be surprised if she's in the finale, especially after this week.
Are you talking about this girl right here?
Ashley.
Play. All right.
My only goal was to make it past episode 1, to make it past the first week. And now I'm going back to my corner with a category that nobody wants. And I Pine Boost to give me that little extra cushion, a little extra fear for people to come for me. Everything has turned out exactly as I wanted.
That's right.
I'm interested to hear your
Good job,
Brad, about how you feel about Ashley, because I know you're the type of person that's like, go for the big money or go for the big piece, but like she didn't go for the big piece, Instead, she like built up her little territory, and I think that was impressive in and of itself. I think she did the good play, a smart play.
Tony, I know you don't hear this a lot, but I agree with you.
Wait,
I
you know
think
what?
what she did was I was watching. I'm like, this is a power move here. She has created her own little area. She's in the Jeopardy area. What, David? She's in
Yeah,
the David
Oh
zone,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And she's got the time boost now. And I would be way more scared to come after ancient Greece. Is ancient Greece?
Yep.
Ancient Rome?
Yeah, Asian Greece. Yeah.
Than I would Jonathan. And I'm going to talk about him. One, I need to ask you all this question. Tim, you were listening last week. Jeffrey claims you can't come on a podcast until you're done. He said that last week.
Until you
Yes.
after you lose, yeah.
I don't believe that, because how in the world has Jonathan been on a podcast every week talking floor?
I've been
I don't
thinking
believe
the
that.
same thing, Brad. I thought the same thing this week. I'm like, what's he doing on there? What's Serge doing on there? And I don't know if they got special permissions to host. It seems like something's going on there. I don't know. Maybe they're still trying to figure it out. Fox is trying to figure it
But
out.
how can they be fair and balanced if they got special privilege to host? They can't be fair. They're not going to be like me on here blasting anybody. So, I mean, like, I don't understand that. I don't think that's the real rule. I would love to ask Harley. You know what? I'm going to message Harley right now and ask
I
her.
think we
So
should.
I will say this. First of all, it's their season, and they have their own legal documentation that is completely separate from ours. And for us, I read through the documents the day we got them, and then I pretty much forgot what it said. So yeah.
Well, we have another question coming up for season 4 too. So if you can get Harley on there, I want to preempt a little bit because Tim and I had some curiosity about the rules regarding time boosts, category swaps, and collecting future victories. And if you're getting on Instagram with Harley, you could ask her what the rule was with respect to winning using a time boost and whether or not the victory when using the time boost counts toward your next run of 3. On our season, it did not, and you had to start your run of 3 over. But it looks like this season it does, because Jonathan's able to collect another category swap, in this case, using his time boost victory on his route to 3 in a row. So I'm just curious what that rule was this season, because I think that's an interesting distinction. But as far as Ashley goes, Rob made the joke that she's kind of witchy. I think it's just interesting that it worked out so well for her to be where she was and to know that she had that victory in defending witchcraft. And she only needed to take on Mark and then to go for Canadian Icons and build her little corner safety with a time boost as a shield. I think it's brilliant. That's why I think she's going to last the game. But let's, while you're talking to Harley, let's talk a little bit about
Actually, I'm talking to Nikki Bear.
Okay, awesome.
She's
Well,
going to be on our show week 10.
Good. Then we're going to definitely get some insight.
But
What
I'm
do you
asking
think-
her. She told me to ask her right now.
Awesome. What do you think about country music, by the way? Tony, you live in Nashville, baby.
I live in Nashville, but I'm sorry, that was a snooze fest for me. Some of them I was like, I know some of these. I'm surprised. But I mean, I knew Dolly. Dolly is the president of Nashville. If you didn't know that,
Dolly's the queen.
Yeah, Dolly is the queen. Yes. I knew Dolly. I knew Reba.
Yeah, another queen.
Yes. Other than that, I knew Brad Paisley because he went to my college, but.
Yeah, I think it was named the country music star.
Yeah,
and,
which we had that my season named the country music star. But I will say, like, I think they did a few more deep cuts my season than this time.
I think the images were better this season too. I remember last season thinking that does not look like Carrie Underwood. That does not look like this person. These
they are doing better with the pictures. Before, like they'd be blurry, upside down, a haircut they never had before. No, this time around it's a lot better. I really do appreciate it because
they took the notes and I appreciate production's choice of images, and nobody's face is blocked by the microphone.
Yes,
they're doing a good job. What do you know, Brad? Tell me what you
learned. Which girl is she on country music? I can't remember. She did country music. Right?
Ashley did country music with Mark, and they had a pretty good battle back and forth. They just, it ended up Mark drew a couple of passes, and the time, got away from him.
Yeah, I want to say I feel like the floor in a lot of ways has evolved into Name the Celebrity.
Sure has, yeah.
It's a lot of Name the Celebrity.
Yeah, Okay, so there is a lot of truth to that. There are a lot of categories which can be boiled down to it's a celebrity category that they have something to tie them together. Like season one, Simpsons celebrity voices, I think is what it was.
Right,
It wasn't
right.
really anything about the Simpsons. It was celebrities who had been on the Simpsons, which is fair game. But you're gonna get that every season, right? And people want, I think, a mix of different stuff. You're gonna get a lot of pop culture. There's something for everybody. Not all 100 categories are going to be good for me, but you know what? You better believe probably half to 2/3 of them are things that I identify with. Music, not so much, but a lot of other people enjoy it. So there's a lot of there's 100 categories, right? You can have 20 categories about some type of celebrity. You can have 20 categories about something academic. You can have like 5 or 10 sports categories. Like you have a lot of those. So you're right. And maybe I think the message I'm trying to get at, because I'm kind of rambling a bit, is that when you see a category, don't necessarily get intimidated by what you think it is, because it may just be name a celebrity or
Exactly.
say
Who just
say
so
what you
happens,
see on the
yeah.
screen, like
Yeah.
with phobias, which we'll see later on.
Exactly. And you're
Oh,
right. We
well,
saw
I'm
two
gonna get to
categories.
that.
Tony's
I'm
gonna
gonna
get
get
to
to
that.
that.
We did have two categories.
I have an answer. I have an answer, guys.
Okay, what we got?
From Nikki. She says, "Good question. I'm not 100% sure what the contract says, but I think you can be on before your episode airs, but they like it to be during it for clout." I said, "We're surprised because past seasons we've gotten people still in the game." And she says, "Yeah, I don't think that's a real thing about not being allowed to be on a podcast." So I think Jeffrey was mistaken.
Well,
That's my-
there's 3 people I heard that from, so I'm curious if they misunderstood or if they're just camera shy and they don't want any part of this, and that's
No.
fair.
What was
Or
your
maybe
question,
they're just,
Angie?
like just being
Oh,
precautious.
question was about the time boost rule and the 3 in a row. Does winning with the time boost count toward your next series of 3, or do you have to start your 3 in a row after you use the time boost?
No, it should count towards your next series of 3.
It
Yeah.
did not for our season though. Because you
Really?
have an advantage. So I think the idea was like you've used it, you have an advantage for a victory. Now you can plow ahead and get 3 additional victories. But to use an advantage to count toward a victory in your series
But
of
you
3,
still won the duel, though.
Yeah, I think it should, Angie.
It should. But
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that I believe the rules have shifted.
that
Either
way, that
or
didn't
we
that
all
happen in your
misunderstood it.
season where someone tried to play.
She said, "Of course, Angie.
someone
Winning
said-
with a time boost does count towards your next 3."
Now, see, that was,
We would have to look
Well,
up our
wouldn't it be-
paperwork, which I don't
but
have anymore.
But that means someone would have to play, what, 6 times in a row or something, or
I'm not
It'd be 7, right?
disagreeing. I actually think it's
7 wins.
I think it's fine. It's just consistently speaking.
No,
That's
Angie,
not
I
how
think you
most
But you
people
get the
do it.
advantage because you played
You
3
earned
times
it.
in a row.
earned it.
So you earned it. Like, so it's just like it should count towards it.
Angie, I think you're thinking, maybe I'm wrong because I'm not in your brain, but there was a scenario where someone was up there twice this season, went back like a bonehead, and then immediately got called back up, and Rob was like, "This doesn't count as your 3rd consecutive,
Right,
right?"
you have to do it
That's
consecutively.
That I
explicitly in there.
understand.
That I
That is
understand.
explicitly in
there.
That's
Yeah,
legit.
we knew that.
Yeah.
We understood that. Yeah, that is true. That makes a lot of sense. You have to stay up there. You can't go back and then come back up.
Yeah.
It's just I think it's possible that that's always been the rule, but on our season, I believe we did not. We didn't understand it to be that way.
It's very
She says-
likely that they change things legally. There's
Oh my gosh,
that
things
thing
change
changes
everything.
in the season.
I think I remember because I went back with the time boost, and then I came back up for I think anatomy, and then I did another duel, and then Rob said, "Okay, one more duel, and you can get another time boost," and I decided to go back to the floor. So that would have counted, but I don't know. I'd have to read.
It's kind of a difference without a distinction at this point, right? Because it doesn't really matter if they're using a consistent policy throughout the season. It's just something that we noticed when we were watching, and I was like, hey, maybe somebody will have an answer. And it looks like maybe we don't know for sure, and that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as it's fair for their season, and our
Exactly.
season's rules may have been different, and that's fine.
It's consistent within
Well, fair
the
and
season.
consistent,
Yeah,
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And I think those things are always going to get tweaked as each new mechanic gets entered into the game. They're going to have to figure out new ways of of making things fair and consistent throughout. So, and I think that's fun. That's part of the challenge, is how does the game evolve. I would say at this point, Ashley's doing a great job, though.
She did answer. You want to hear her answer? She said that was a big question and a back and forth with production, but I'm pretty sure the time boost round counted as one of the 3. And then she says also, hi, Angie, Tony, and Tim.
Hi.
Hi.
And then I said, you should just log in for a few minutes and talk to us right now.
She should. Our live chat, for real. She's already in the
just
chat.
come on the show right now and answer these
Log
questions.
in. Send her the link. Bring her in. That would be great. I'll say this, that I think Ashley's doing a great job, though, of really exploiting this particular bonus. And she says, you know what? It doesn't make any sense for me to go back without trying to take on Canadian icons, get that time boost, and stay in the corner. So she goes after Sadia. And Sadia, God bless her, I think she got assigned this category because she happens to be from Canada. And at this point, Tim and I were already anticipating who they might be. And again, this is, just as Tim mentioned, another celebrity category. And these celebrities just happen to be Canadian. If you're paying attention, I think most people knew most of those people, except poor Sadia, who sadly missed many, and much to Rob Lowe's chagrin,
I'm sorry, Rob was showing his age. The ones that he was like, you missed this. Those were the only ones that I missed.
You don't know Neil Young?
Neil Young?
No.
Neil Young, and
I was like,
I would not have gotten Neil Young, but
I got Neil Young. I'm in the kitchen popping popcorn, half watching the Canadian one, and I'm like, that's Neil Young.
That's Neil Young, man.
He had such disdain for that, though.
I didn't.
Listen to Harvest Moon, Tony. Tell me if you like it. That's one of his big hits. But so she takes that. She goes back. She says, I'm good. And, she says she's going to let somebody else take out podcasts. And, of course, we see what comes up. And after
Wait,
3...
we do get one of the best lines from Rob.
Please.
And I really like this line.
I do not want to tangle with her.
Don't.
But somebody's going to have to.
That was what I said about my wife when I met her. I don't want to tangle with her, but someone's going to have to. So I suppose it's going to be this guy.
You took one for the team, man.
I did.
I love that. So, Rob had a lot of good lines last night. I think what ended up happening is after we had celebs who also are Canadian, Ashley goes back, and then we get that randomizer. And if anybody paid attention to the previews or paid attention to the tagline, right, Battle of the Besties, we knew that Serge was going to get randomized. He's an island in a sea of Jonathan, and he'll have no option but to take him on. And that's exactly what happens in duel number 3. Serge is randomized. He looks crestfallen. He's already basically crying. Jonathan looks sad. They both are pouting, and they get dragged up to the podium, and we know it's going to happen. And this is a moment where, again, it's celebrities who also happen to have podcasts. And so I think it was far less intimidating than I had thought it would be. And so I was actually kind of pleased. I wasn't as, I would say, intimidated as I thought. I don't know how you guys felt about podcasts. Was it what you hoped it would be?
Well,
It was a lot easier than I expected.
Tony and I called this last week. Did we not, Tony? We were like, it's going to be celebrities.
Michelle Obama,
I didn't know she had a podcast. Sorry. I mean,
it was celebrities that just so happened to have a literally named that celebrity. They didn't even show Alex Cooper or the name the Call Her Daddy girl.
I said they would call. I said that last week to you, Tony.
I know. 'Cause I was waiting for that. The only one that I saw that was like I knew as a podcaster was Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
The rest, I mean, there were a few that I just didn't know, but the rest, Anna Faris, Michelle Obama.
Dak Shepard. I knew Dak Shepard.
Dak Shepard. I knew that. Yeah.
I did not know. Was it Bill Simmons, Tim? Who's that guy?
Yeah, I like Bill Simmons.
ESPN
I mean, I don't like him, but yeah.
Yeah. When I looked at him, I swear he looked like Gavin Newsom from California. And I'm like, oh, that's Gavin Newsom. I'm like, no, that's Bill Simmons. I'm like, oh.
Emmanuel from Chicago's politician guy. He looked like a lot of people. He was like a doppelganger. But that one wasn't scary. I think most people.
What was you going to say, Tony?
I will say, if y'all, this was like a little Easter egg. I noticed this like a few episodes back, and I kept it in my mind. But the two people that won against podcasts, when Jonathan won that first 20K, like a couple episodes back, the guy that he lost to came into like the
Oh, like the
briefing
confessional
room
interview?
or whatever, and was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, congratulations, man!" Like that, and I'm like, that looks like a guy that just lost to Jonathan. I'm gonna keep that in mind. That was like episodes
Oh.
back.
Wait, are
But
you
I was
watching
like, why
the?
would he just let him in his briefing room or what? Y'all know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Oh yeah, Tim.
Y'all
I
Yeah.
thought that was
in the
But
weird.
it
middle
was
of like,
it was Surge, right? But they had also they had a dual confessional, which I think that's the first time we've ever seen a dual confessional. They had it even before Jonathan got on the stage. So
that's what I'm saying, that they probably
yeah.
recorded that after the whole
Yeah, the whole
thing
meeting thing
happened.
was probably one
That's
take.
good.
and they
Good catch.
sliced it
But
through.
we're kind of glossing over what I think was not very smart. And I don't look. I want to beat you, Tim. If I'm going against you, I like you. I consider you a friend of mine. I still would
Yeah.
like to take you down. This part right here, this part really just.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going with it.
This part
We
got
need
me.
to do some housekeeping here. Are you going to use your time boost?
Well, Rob, if I'm being honest, I want to give Sergio a fair shot. I am not going to use the time boost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What?
And then some guy goes, "That's
hey,
so great. That's so
but-
great."
See, it sounded like, oh, I'm being nice to my friend, but really, he didn't want to waste his time boost.
Nah, he didn't want to waste it.
He
Yeah,
should.
yeah.
I would respect him more.
If he used it, it would have been a waste.
That's
It would have
100%.
been, and I've seen him waste it, but I
hindsight,
would
it was
look
a
at
good-
Tim.
In hindsight, it was a good move, but I don't think not omitting the time boost or not using the time boost is ever a good move. I don't think that that's like a gamble that you ever want to take.
No, I
Yeah.
think you use it or you're use it.
I
not
would
use
rather,
it,
you don't-
use it, not use
waste it than like not use it and then lose.
and then lose.
Heidi would
Yeah.
tell you, you don't go home with an idol.
Brad,
Right?
you're a football guy.
Yeah.
It's like why are you saving your timeouts to go in your pocket? You don't save your timeouts
Right.
for the next day.
They don't carry
Next
over,
game,
right,
right?
Tim? Yeah,
Right.
they don't carry
Yeah.
over.
So
So
it's and you're right, Tony. He wound up not needing it, and it turns out I don't know that there's been a single time boost that's used that has come down to the 5 seconds. Right? I think it's been close, like 10. Like when Danny used it against me, he still beat me by 15 seconds, so that didn't matter. But there's a little bit of confidence that you gain by having the extra 5 seconds. But you're right. You don't want to go home with a time boost in your pocket thinking, could I have done something more?
Yeah.
No, not
That's
at all.
what-
And you know,
what
it's
happened
won, so
in the finale of season 3, Megan, she decided not to use her time boost on the trees duel, and she ended up losing.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
it's-
I think in
I
our
mean-
season.
I had it and I used it in my own category of expertise. So I was in a similar position to Jonathan. And yet the whole time I kept thinking, how dumb would it be to have this get so close? And if only I'd used my time boost, I would have won. Like I would have kicked myself about that for the end of time. And
I would never let you live it down, Angie. I would bring it up every.
Every shot you got, you'd bring it up, wouldn't you?
And you know what she would say back to me, Tim? You know what she would say? She would say this right here.
Podcasts are very boring. I do not listen to any podcasts.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. I would throw your own podcast under the bus. I will say this. I like Jonathan a lot. I don't know him well yet. I'd like to know him better. I know he and Serge said that they'd come on sometime with our pod, so that'll be a really good episode. I think he is a really good, genuine human. But there was an altruism in the edit that I think ultimately it was probably Serge telling Jonathan, bro, if it comes down to you and me, you know I know nothing about podcasts.
Yeah.
And I think it was clear he didn't. And Jonathan just knew that there's no reason he would try to waste it, because I think Serge got who did he get? Who was the first person? Podcast? Did he get
It was
Michelle
he got
Obama?
Joe Rogan. He got
He got
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan,
And then that
yeah.
was it. It was passing.
Yeah,
all
okay,
day.
but again, here's the thing. If first off, I want to say if I'm Tim, I'm gonna say, or if I'm going to get Tim, I'm gonna say, Tim, I'm gonna not use my time boost because I think I can beat you without my time boost. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna make it a level playing field. I feel like that's pitying Tim. First off,
Yeah.
it's pitying Tim. It's showing Tim zero respect. Second, Serge, and if he comes on here, I want to ask him about this. Podcasts are easy to study. You just go top 50 pods on iTunes. You can learn these guys in one night or a couple
But I
days.
think honestly, it's down to what celebrities do you know, because I didn't know that half of these celebrities had podcasts. And
I
feel
didn't
like
either.
if
I knew
searched
the
it up,
celebrities
wouldn't
more
be
than
able
I
to
knew
figure
their
that out
podcasts.
either. So it's like, do you know celebrities or do you not know celebrities? That's it.
So you need to know. So the rule is you need to know celebrities to go on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty
absolutely,
much.
absolutely.
Pretty much, 100%.
You got to be a pop culture person.
You do. I think you do.
Yeah.
I don't think you have I don't think you have a chance if you're not. Unless you're capable of isolating an academic category, intimidating the crap out of everyone so that nobody comes at you till the end, and you're lucky enough to draw another academic category in the final. I don't know how you could last without knowing anything about pop culture. I just
Well, that's what makes The Witch so good, right? Because she's sitting on a category like Keelan. She's sitting on a
like
Keelan
Straight Outta
category.
Cable.
You know what I'm saying? Like I would not want to go up against Ancient Greece. The only person that would want to do that is David. He would go up against Ancient Greece and be like, "I got this, bro."
Yep.
For sure.
Yep. Well, we know she's pretty safe for a while. It looks that way, and obviously, as once the randomizer is taken up again, and she seems like she's holding her own. So I think we're going to see her for a while. We end up getting Duel 4 again. Now at this point, Jonathan has beaten Serge. He's like, well, heck, either I've got to just keep going, or I just go back to the floor with toys and somebody's going to pick me off. So let's keep going. He wants to get another time boost or a category swap. So that's what he decides to do. And he goes for Latasha and Phobias. And Tony, I have a feeling you got a bone to pick with Phobias.
I do.
What is it?
I really do. I'm putting myself in season 4 shoes. I'm just imagining seeing phobia. Okay, I'm next to phobia. Let me study phobias. Okay, arachnophobia, aerophobia, thysophobia. I'm learning all of the Latin phrases,
yes, Latin prefixes.
And now it's just guess the thing.
Yeah, it's
It's
name
just
the thing.
guess the thing. And I get it. Like,
Again.
that's the floor. But it's like, if it's going to be phobias, I'm expecting to study phobias. I'm not
Yes.
studying things. Like,
Yes.
that's why they finished that category.
100%. It was common things that also happened to be phobias.
Are
It
you-
wasn't like
you talking
didn't have
about
to know
this?
any Latin whatsoever.
Women.
Wow! For the first time in floor history, you guys were so good. We ran out of categories.
I love how the lady is so excited, even though she lost. She's like, "Oh my gosh!"
I
At
know.
least you got to be a part of history.
Yeah, although I'm a little I'm going to give props to production for doing so well on images this season, and they're doing well across the board, but there are more phobias than they showed, and obviously there's like significantly more phobias. I think they could have maybe thrown a few more in just to make sure. I think mathematically speaking, they should just aim to have 60 to 70 just so they can cover. But it was kind of an exciting thing to see something new happen, seeing something break the floor. And it does make the time boost more significant because Tim and I were talking about the rule that if you do run out of categories, it's the person with the most time on the clock who wins. And if you're using a time boost, that is absolutely a good strategy to use in a category that's likely going to be a speed duel like this one was. So,
But can I say, my 12-year-old said to me, "Dad, that has to be the dumbest category I've ever." Like, morons can guess that stuff, right? Like, you just look at spiders. Okay.
Well,
I mean, it was so easy, Tim. That's why they finished it. It was so easy.
And
It was the
I'm
easiest
saying-
category I've ever seen on the floor.
And also,
Cat-
I do like sometimes like certain categories. I'm just like, okay, how are they gonna show this so that way like anybody at home can play?
Right.
And so sometimes they do have to dumb it down, and I get that, and I'm all for that. But I feel like this would have been a good like mid-level range category for people at home to play. People
Yes.
know arachnophobia, like like the or aerophobia, trypophobia, whatever.
claustrophobia.
Yeah, exactly. People know like the first 5, and I feel like that was a good difficulty level to just name the phobia instead of name the thing.
Or what if they did the
Yeah.
phobia with like movie posters? So like arachnophobia is the movie, but you don't see the name. Sleeping is movies where you don't want to go to bed at night. Or
Like snakes on a plane.
yeah, snakes. Yeah, like that would have been at least a little more interesting.
And more pop culture.
When you show a picture of a snake, an 8-year-old can go snake, and you know that,
Oh,
right?
dude, because you can
Yeah,
have like
but it's
alone in
that's
the
why I like
dark.
it.
Yeah,
That-
I
Yeah,
like
you're right.
This
Tim,
is one
you're
of the
right.
reasons this is one of the reasons I like the show. It's because it's not all European geography or all ancient Greece or even ancient Egypt or constellations or paintings on our season, which was I think pretty
That was
difficult.
really
And
hard.
That was so hard, Tim.
our
You're-
Really hard.
chat saying it right. Our chat saying, "Hey, this floor categories in a nutshell," and that's true. And I like that there are some categories that are accessible to my 6-year-old who knows tools And like, I had no idea what Lisa Frank was, but it's identify the picture. It's basically what that is. I had a chance. Tablescapes. I'm like,
But I think
what is
for-
that? I have no idea. It's identify the thing, and I'm okay with that.
But I
It's
think
things
for
with
those
theme.
categories, like kitchen items, okay, yeah, identify the thing, or smoothies, identify the thing. Like I get that, but like phobias, I feel like with that they should take just a
Sure.
step further.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been. I was really like excited to see, or like really tickled to see, like people being like slipophobia, bookophobia,
Yeah,
dogophobia.
Yeah, yeah.
Like just like.
That would be so awesome.
I was excited to see that, but then I was like, oh dang, it's just named the thing.
I think
Wasn't
it
there a
could have
phobia
been-
for throwing up? Is there a phobia for throwing up?
I have friends that have that. I do.
Yeah, it's
Emetophobia.
isthmisophobia, I think.
It's like
Hyperesthmia. I had that when I was pregnant.
So I looked over to my 12-year-old and I said, bro, do you think there's a phobia for taking a dump? And
Yeah,
he
there
said,
is.
I'm sure there is.
There totally is. I don't know the name of it.
What? People
Yeah,
get scared when they go to the bathroom?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
maybe they just stop themselves from doing it. I don't know what else you gotta do to.
It's a control. It's a fear of loss of control. But
I'm gonna
honestly,
ask.
there's a
I'm gonna
fear of
ask
colors,
Nikki
there's
if
a fear of
she'll.
everything.
Yeah, fear of color. Some of them I was like,
Fear
people
of
actually scared of this?
I think they
Max,
could
Max
have
was like,
went
"How are you
with-
scared of colors?"
Right.
It's
You just
the-
open
the
your eyes.
phobia- the phobia suffix
Soon
is
as
a
you wake
little bit
up.
more than just fear of. They usually, when I learned about this in etymology class at sophomore English, it was more of a irrational fear of something.
Yeah.
So
It
that's
is,
what I
it is
think.
something that
Like,
interferes with
nobody
your
wants-
daily life, which makes it,
Yeah.
a diagnosis. I think they could have called it fears, or common fears could have been the category instead of phobias, and that would have eliminated the need to know the Latin and just name the picture of the things people are commonly afraid of, which is really what the category became,
Well,
as
yeah,
opposed to
at
the more
first, but then
academic
it was
phobia.
like things that like people aren't really like. I feel like it was like some things that are pretty niche that like I don't know, not a lot of people are afraid of. But
Yeah.
I think if they just kept it like literally just generic, like the bibliophobia, like a fear of books.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
easy.
Dude, I can't even imagine.
Who's
what that
afraid
would
of
be.
books? There is a fear of pooping. It's called coprophobia.
There you go, bro.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
These
Put it on
people.
there.
These people
Somebody sit
fear
on the
they're going to
toilet.
poop themselves in public.
Oh yeah,
I'm-
that's a
I'll
real
try
fear.
to so hold it in.
I'm guilty of that, by the way. I've had that happen.
Well, as we know, shat happens. So,
Tony's like, oh my gosh.
Brad,
You just
Brad,
judged me in your mind, Tony. You did.
I'm in my mind and out loud. That's crazy.
Yeah.
that's great.
I have no
No,
shame.
that's happened to me before, but I was like too.
It happens.
You were
Everybody
too.
poops. There's a book.
I was in my
there's a great
30s.
book called Everybody Poops. It's awesome.
Thank you.
I will say this: that Jonathan has Mattel toys. We can't forget that. He's got a category that is probably one of the most generic common knowledge categories to have on the floor, and I think he knows that without any leverage, he's likely going to meet some real challenges. So he keeps going. He wants to get a time boost or a category swap. So he takes on Andrea in Disney animation. And this is where I turned it over to Tim, because I was like, Tim, I got nothing here. Yeah, I've watched some Disney movies. I know some Disney, but Tim's a Disney master. He may not look like your typical Disney
like
blonde,
literally wearing a Disneyland shirt right now.
Yeah, he pretty
Um,
much ran
yeah.
that. How did you guys feel about Disney animation?
So this one was like, okay, I think I did pretty well on it, but what kind of like threw me off a little bit was like the fact that they're posters. And before every category, I kind of like think to myself, okay, how would I study this? Like, how would I go about this? And when it comes to like things like movies or like animation stuff like that, I usually like Google the movie and then I find like the third or fourth picture on Google Images. I don't go for the poster. And
Right.
so I think just like initially just seeing the poster would throw me off. And that
Yeah.
was the first thing that I thought of when I saw the duel.
The posters were different and kind of old school. If you didn't grow up in
Yes.
the land of Betamax and Blockbuster, there are a bunch of those that you've probably never seen before,
Yeah.
just looking at those. Yeah, I agree. It was something that threw people off. And I also think it made it different. I liked that there was a mix of old school with things like Bambi, and then
Bambi.
obviously later things like, Zootopia. I think it was a really good mix.
I knew Fantasia. I was there.
There you go. There you go. Well, Tim got all, I think you may have struggled over like one.
I did not recognize Bambi before he answered it right.
Yeah,
but
and
maybe
the
I'll get a
James and
couple
the
of
Giant
seconds.
Peach.
Oh, I didn't get that one
Yeah.
either. I didn't know that was
Yeah.
a Disney movie.
I didn't either. Who knew?
There was one I didn't
listened
get.
to the
It
book,
was
but I never
with
heard of
It was one with the mouse or something. What was it? Not Mickey Mouse, I know, but it was one I didn't get that I was like, man, that's an old school pull. Camelot or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oliver, is it Oliver and Company? No.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oliver and Company.
Yeah,
I was
right.
like, I don't know that movie.
I've heard of Oliver and Company, but like I didn't recognize it until they said it.
Yeah, there were some older ones, and there were some cool ones like Bolt. I have to say, Bolt is a movie my kid
I
wanted
got
on
that
repeat. Miley Cyrus, fun fact, was the voice of Penny in Bolt.
Yes.
It's a great movie. I think John Travolta actually played the voice of Bolt the dog. So it's a good one. If you haven't seen it,
Nice.
go check it out. So anyway, Jonathan grabs the victory, right? And we're thinking, okay, is he going to go for a time boost? Because obviously Toys is going to be a speed round. He realizes that if he's up against somebody who's faster than him, he might need extra time. And instead he's like, oh, no, I'm going to go for the intimidation route again. He knew that podcasters held people off for a little bit. He's thinking, let's find something else he knows. He goes for category swap and takes book adaptations. Now, he's a screenwriter. This makes perfect sense for him. I don't know how long he'll be able to hold it, but that's what he chose to do, and then he goes back to the floor with it. What do you think of that move, guys?
I think he knows he's a target. He knows people are coming after him. I think you're right, Angie. He knows that Mattel Toys is something that a lot more people are probably more familiar with than what he took. So he swaps out to a cat. He's choosing what he's going to defend with. And I think it's a move that he is good at, probably an expert. He says he's the best one on the floor, which is very likely to be true. And he's basically defining how people are going to come at him. So come at me, bro, is what I think he's doing.
He said he wants to do destiny. Do you all know how many times he's dueled?
How many duels he's had so far? Do we know?
I can look it up on Wikipedia. I would guess it's like he's had 2 time boosts or 2.
I still don't put him in Brian level yet. He's not in Brian level yet.
I think he's better than Brian.
I think
he's better than Brian, Tim?
I think he's better than Brian.
See, here's the problem with Brian has won more money and may at the end of the day win more money than any of the people who didn't win. But I look at him and I don't know. Okay, so here's the full disclosure. Jonathan is what I like to call my floor twin. He's got the same square that I did. So I was rooting for him from the beginning. So every time he wins, I'm like, yeah, dude, go. And after the first win, I said, you know what, man, good luck, because I know you're going to be a target as the whale. And he's like, yeah, we'll see what happens. And of course, he already knows that he's won 2 extra episodes, right? So, but people haven't come after him, and he's proven to be, very good at what he's doing. So, should I say that he's better than Brian? I'd have to look at the stats, but my biased nature for my floor twin says yes. Brian is very good, and it just felt like at certain times that I felt like people didn't have the chance to take a shot at him. And Tony would probably remember this a little bit better.
I would say,
but,
I would say Brian played a really good defense. So he was the whale. He was constantly targeted, and when he was targeted, he was able to win. Jonathan actually, he does both. He can play good defense, and he also was trying to get a time. The fact that he's trying to get a time boost or a category steal while he has the biggest whale on the whole floor, that's crazy to me. That's incredibly risky, and the fact that he was able to pull it off is very impressive to me.
I think when I think of who's the better player, there's different metrics here. But
there's different metrics.
And I'm
do you think he wins?
My money's on Jonathan to win. I
no,
think he has more.
There's no way he wins. I don't think he wins.
There was no way that Brian was going to win. I don't think with that big of a
I don't think he can hang on till the very end. But
have we ever agreed on something twice on an episode? I'm in Tony's corner tonight, man.
I will want to say this because this is something Angie and I talked about last night. Is I'm very impressed with the gameplay, but I'm also thinking, you know what? If they've got more options than we did on seasons 2 and 3, and even for season 1 where they didn't have a time boost at all. So strategies are different, and I would have loved to have played in a season 4 or whatever they're coming up with in season 5, just because the game evolves. And unfortunately, we had our 1 season and that was it, and I had 2 duels and that was it. And well, that kind of sucks that I wasn't able to show America how smart I think I am, at least, whereas you guys all did. So that was fantastic. But yeah, I think they've got more options, and it's really showing what people's strategies can be, because I just love watching it between I think her name was also Ashley from California, who took the first category steal and took it from Aaron earlier in the season. It was like, I was
It
like,
almost feels like another
it's
season.
pretty awesome.
It feels like it was so long ago that
I
Aaron
know.
sweep. It feels like another season, doesn't it? Well, at this point, Jonathan has his category swap. He takes book adaptation. He goes back to the floor. People are a little nervous.
Wait,
but
wait,
hey,
that guy was ticked, by the way, that he took book, and I mean, he was ticked.
yeah, but
He did not
thankfully,
like it at
at a
all.
minimum, he got toys, right? It's not like he got dumped with something he couldn't possibly know. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be worse. But yeah, no, he was seemingly upset. I'd love to see him challenge Jonathan in book adaptations and really see who knows more. I guess we'll find out what happens. We end up with a randomizer. We get Julie from North Dakota, who happens to be a kindergarten teacher, if I remember, and she takes on Johnny, who has famous teachers. Lo and behold, it happens to be not just celebrities who are also teachers, but characters on television shows who are teachers. And I actually love this category.
It was so hard. It was so hard.
That was so
Yeah,
difficult.
it's not
I
named the
couldn't-
celebrity. It's not named the celebrity. It's not named the show. It's named the character. There's 3 levels of recognition that I think a player has to zip through. And I thought that was really challenging in an awesome way. So kudos to production for flexing that one. I liked it quite a bit. Were any of those teachers unfamiliar to you
like
folks?
most
Any of them
them.
tough?
I thought they were gonna do like Bill Nye, like real people,
Like
But then
real
it's
teachers,
there's
like
not a
Neil
lot of,
deGrasse
like-
Tyson.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson. There was not a lot of like famous, well-known like teachers that like
Yeah.
most people would be able to recognize.
Like
I thought it was a good
Einstein or
category,
Amy
but it was
Sullivan
just
or
like
something.
from a studying perspective, I'm like, oh gosh, I probably would have flunked this.
I have a feeling that in their study sheets, it likely said famous teachers on television or movies. I have a feeling they would have had an aside of that kind, because
Yeah.
otherwise you're really looking. You could put Barack Obama. You know, he was a law
Yeah,
professor.
like
You could
celebrities
put-
that just so happen to have
celebrities that happen to have been teachers.
Tony's not going to get this, but you both will. Like when I saw Michelle Pfeiffer, I'm like, Gangster's Paradise, Dangerous Minds. I knew that. I didn't know the teacher's name, but I'm like,
didn't know her
Dangerous
name.
I
Paradise,
didn't know the name.
Coolio.
Okay, I was the same way with the karate. I was like, oh, Karate Kid.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I
then you're like,
think
oh wait,
they-
no,
South
Mr.
Park.
Miyagi. But yeah, you had to go a few levels.
Yeah.
Walter White, Breaking Bad. You know,
Yeah.
again though, you were going Breaking Bad, Walter White. You know, or you're
That's
going
what
Bryan
they-
Cranston, Breaking Bad, Walter White. Like, which answer do we need here? I
Yes,
thought
it's
that was
extra
really
step.
challenging. And Johnny apparently did too, because he didn't do too well. I don't know if Julie won that as much as Johnny lost it. I think that's also kind of splitting hairs, but much like Serge passed quite a bit in podcasters, I think Johnny passed quite a bit in famous teachers. And so we just kind of got a little bit of a womp womp, which was unfortunate. Is he the one who called Rob Soda Pop though? Remind me, but
Was
I think
he?
somebody called him Soda
He
Pop.
might have,
and that,
yeah.
Oh, I think. Oh my
Was that
gosh,
him?
yeah, no, that one. I wrote a note.
that
about
was his name in Outsiders.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, right?
So that guy was really bothering me because he kept on like passing on like ones that I even knew. But then there was a point where like he's like his timer's going all the way down and she has like a lot of time left. And then he keeps he keeps freezing. And then it
Yeah.
goes back to her and then she like passes a couple times. I'm like, I literally say out loud, I'm like, you better not lose to this dud. No offense to that man. No offense to that man. But it was frustrating to me how he couldn't pass. I was like, please pass, just pass, just pass. And he wasn't doing it. I was like, I swear if she loses to him, I'm gonna be so mad. That was too close of a game towards the end.
I can't even remember who he was, so I'm like totally out on this.
It really was.
It was.
It really was, like you're saying, very close. And you're right. There were moments I think Tim's like, oh, he forgot it's his turn. Oh, he forgot it's his turn. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
he forgot his
this
turn.
for you."
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of a womp womp. I loved the category. It would have been fun to see it go deeper, but I don't think either contestant was particularly on point. It was just a matter of who passed fewer than the other person. So after that, Julie goes back to the floor. She's like, I'm done. We end up with Duel 7. And this is when we get Emily, crime fighting duos, which I can't wait for that category. I'm so excited. I think it's going to be really fun and creative too. And she takes on Jasmine and energy drinks. Now the interwebs are all aflutter about defining an energy drink. Nobody's happy that Snapple was on there. Honestly, we're talking about drinks that give you a boost. And I know that they're going to run out of drinks like Red Bull and Monster. So I think they had to naturally expand that category. What did you guys think of that one?
I personally was so excited for that category because I do like energy drinks. But I felt like, okay, I thought it was going to be similar to the water bottle duel that I did.
Oh yeah.
And so, but I think what helped me a lot was like the shape of the water as well, like the shape of the bottle, I mean. But like with a lot of these cans, it was just like, it would just be a random blue can. Like Prime, it was just a green can. And like Prime has like different colors. So it just.
It does, like blue
it was,
and red,
it was
right?
really, I didn't do as well as I thought I would. And then it was showing different teas. I was like, oh, y'all were just caffeinated. I was thinking they were gonna put up like Coca-Cola on there or something.
Couldn't they put Mountain Dew at this point? I was thinking.
Yeah, literally any
It
caffeinated
did have Mountain
beverage.
Dew.
Just coffee.
It did
Because
have
I
Mountain
never
Dew on
viewed
there.
tea as an energy drink. Have you, Tim?
Yeah. No.
No,
I think it's
it's
caffeine.
like coffee, right? Coffee and tea
Yeah.
are technically actually, it doesn't. It makes you feel less tired. It makes you feel that way, even though you're actually just. It fools your body, is what it is. The point being is, no, I would not have expected that, and there it is. I'm like, oh, Arizona iced tea. Okay, I guess they're going that way now.
Yeah, I gotta say, if you're a kid who grew up in the '90s, you would have wanted to see Jolt up there. That's what we all drank
Yeah.
to get through
Oh,
finals.
that's right.
Or Four
Oh,
Loco.
baby.
Four Loco, Angie. There's Four Loco.
I know Four Loco.
Four Loko.
Yeah,
That
they
doesn't
should
have
have.
the energy in it anymore.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Four Loco
different.
makes you crazy. But really, the big ones are what? 5 Hour Energy, Celsius,
Monster.
Red Bull, and then it gets like you're like, okay,
I'm surprised I didn't see my fave Alani on there. That's my fave. I love Alani.
Oh, they didn't have Alani on there. You're
No,
right.
they didn't. And I'm
the
like,
Midwestern
y'all went
bubble.
to iced
Tim,
tea
Oh man.
and all that before going to Alani.
Yeah. Hey,
Tim, you
Brad,
know the
we're-
bubbler, right? Tim, you know the bubbler.
If we're
I
looking-
do.
if we're looking for a sponsorship, I think you should reach out to Alani. Brad, show them this
Okay.
clip. I mean, we
Let's
all
do
love
that.
Bring it. All right. So Jasmine decides to stay. She goes, oh, yeah, I got crime fighting duos. I'm in no position to defend that. She says, let's keep going. And she takes on Mr. Frank. Now, Frank, we like Frank. Frank's an English teacher. Got to give a shout out to Frank. He's my buddy. This was Terms of Endearment. And of course, my mind went to the old film from the 80s. But of course, now I realize it was just going to be things like Cutie Pie and Sweetie. Now, Tim and I, we surmised that it might have had more of a symbolic riddle type situation. And what did you think, Tony?
I
Did you
thought it was
think
gonna be
play
like
out?
blah blah blank blah blah.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, like a
But-
Rebus puzzle or something is what we thought, but it ended up being again named The Thing You See. And okay. I mean, it's okay. It was what it was, I suppose.
Some of them were a little bit difficult. Like I didn't know sugar plum.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the sweet
Yeah.
pea.
I don't know what a chickadee.
Sweet
What's
pea.
a
Oh yeah, I was like
chickadee,
flour,
chickadee?
flour.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that either, Tim. I'm like, whoa.
I wasn't in the zone. I think if I knew I was studying flowers and going up to identify flowers, I might have thought, okay, sweet pea, buttercup. But I'm just going flower at this point. I'm trying to figure out, I've heard people say, hey, my petal, my little flower. Like, but nope, that's not what they wanted. And then they wanted chickadee. It's like, okay. It was interesting. I thought it could have been a little more interesting. I think like a puzzle or like images, kind of like emoji, combinations could have been fun. But whatever, it was cute. It was a cutesy category. Frank wins. He says, oh, I'm going back. He does. And so we finally get our final duel of the night. This is the moment everybody holds their breath. They're figuring out if Jonathan's going to walk away with more money or if he's going to go back up on the podium. And it turns out that Haley from Louisiana, who has fishing, is not adjacent to Jonathan. Jonathan's free and clear. He gets money again. And Haley goes for Ben. And she tackles Ben in Junk in the Trunk. And
Wait, okay, so you're talking about this lady right here? Hold on.
What is junk in the trunk? What is it even going to be?
Everyone around me is studying so hardcore, but I've seen the best studiers here go out on their first battle, and I'm
So
not
dumb.
wasting my brain cells doing all that. It's too much information.
And that's
I
why
was
she's
really
at home.
hoping.
Yeah, I liked her.
I was really hoping it would be celebrity butts, but it wasn't.
That would have been so funny. Oh, that's J-Lo. I got it, man. I know some butts.
we're just like, it's like Kardashian.
Pre or post BBL? Like what do I gotta study?
Right? That was pretty funny. No, we kind of realized it was going to be a lot like junk drawer items, just what's in the back of what's in the boot of your car, right? So I don't think anything was too odd. It was a little weird that Ben didn't recognize a stroller. I think even if you aren't a
Yeah.
parent.
Yeah, how did even my
Yeah.
wife was like, that's a stroller.
I know. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah. Anything
Yeah.
else? Any other image that was challenging in that? Do y'all remember it? Went,
Like the air compressor? Was that
yeah,
like in
They called it a tire
not
inflator. I
getting-
wonder if they would have
Yeah,
accepted
and
that.
then like a vacuum cleaner, but that was a car handheld vacuum cleaner that they wanted. I was like, ooh, that seems a little
that was a little
specific.
too-
I'm like,
Were you Tim? Were you saying Dirt Devil? Because I was going Dirt Devil, Dirt
I
Devil.
said hand vac.
I
hand
think
vac.
Angie said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's a brand. I can see that not being accepted because, well, I don't know.
That
Yeah,
was-
it's a
I thought
brand,
that
but that's
was
what you
a-
know it as,
Seemed-
right? You're like, look at you, that's a Dirt Devil.
That was a tricky one.
It seemed
That
it
was
seemed tough. It seemed like tough for.
Okay. Let me ask you guys, what do you think about her philosophy of I'm not studying? I've seen people study and lose. I think that's a dumb philosophy, honestly.
So, some people had that. Like, there was a lot of people. Okay, so there was like probably two camps of people on my season. I feel like maybe you guys could agree. There's the people that were like, "I'm here to win. I'm here to play. I'm here to win." And the people that were like, "Free trip to Ireland. I'm just here to have fun. I'm just here to make friends. If I win something, then I win something. That's fine." And I think she was on the latter. And
I think I would agree with that. I would say there's also maybe a third. I would put myself in the third category. Maybe it's a hybrid where I studied like crazy before the trip. And then once I got there, I was like, I know what I know, and let's just see how it plays out. So in that sense, I kind of did both. I studied really hard, but then when I got there, I was like, I'm going to miss out on meeting some really cool people if I just hang out in my hotel room and, go through flashcards or something. So
yeah,
I did
that
not.
was me. I didn't sleep, and that's not an exaggeration. Like, I did not sleep. I took like maybe like hour and a half naps, and then I would study throughout the whole night, and then walk downstairs for breakfast. Like,
And then
I
drink
was just-
Celsius and Monster to get you.
No, literally. That's why I love energy drinks so much.
Yeah.
They got me that far. So I just, no. So I wish I had a little bit more of a balance, like Angie, still wanting to play, but at the same time still wanting to. But I still, made really great connections and everything. But I did not have to kill myself for all that.
You really did. I think you struck a good balance and it was right for you. I think everybody's there for their own reason. And if her reason was to say, hey, I don't need to study that much, then so be it. And also,
Nicole said she was a last minute addition, Angie.
She was.
So
Ooh, that changes a lot. Yeah.
Does it? I mean, I don't understand that. What does that mean? Why does that change a lot?
I think that changes the fact that you didn't know the categories ahead of time. You didn't even know that you were going to play. You're not sitting there thinking about the game. You're thinking, I don't know what you're thinking, right? But you may not be actively studying because it may all be for naught, right? And I think studying. It was weird because for me, at first I was like, yeah, I'm going to study, I'm going to win, and then I didn't play for several episodes, right? So everything that I was studying was going by the wayside. So it was basically wasted time. I'm like, well, okay, cool. Like, am I going to keep doing this or am I going to start meeting people? Like after that first night where I was just super exhausted and went right to bed, the next few nights I went in and I started talking to people. I started meeting folks and stuff. So
I think too, Tim, I was just going to say, I think you're right that there are people who maybe would have spent their time differently. But I also think it's a social game, not as much as something like Traders or Survivor, but you getting to know your fellow contestants, spending time with them, figuring out who really knows their category, who was assigned their category, who's there to get more influencers, who's there to win more money. I mean, that's studying too. I mean, I was there to make friends,
sure,
but along the way, you learn stuff about people. And I think that Ashley's probably somebody who was able to get to know people pretty well, but I think her lack of studying, it could have caught up with her. I don't know. I mean, Drunk in the Trunk was a close duel. She did fine.
I'll say one more thing about that, and I think it's that, as you're a teacher, I'm a teacher, we know that cramming the night before an exam isn't necessarily the best strategy. So maybe you just don't do it, and you just go in with, hey, I know what I know, which is Dan, who might have been the smartest person on our season.
I will say, it's not the best.
I just know what I know.
I will say, even though I'm not a teacher. As somebody who loves to cram, when I came on the floor, I was literally like a month. I just finished undergrad. I know how to cram. So that's what I'm known for. And the fact that it's like you binge all this information and then you just purge it out really, really fast. Like water bottle brands, I knew like Dasani and Aquafina and that's it. And I just studied really hard, just went through all my flashcards overnight and I just purged the information, and then when I watched it 6 months later, I was like, I don't even remember half of these water bottle brands.
Yeah.
So for retaining
You
information
were
and knowing
successful.
information, it's not. No, I wouldn't recommend it. But for a show like The Floor, it worked.
Fair.
I did what I had to do.
Fair.
I'm gonna drop a little plug in here. You brought up Traitors. Heidi from season 44 Survivor and I are going to be recapping every episode of the new season of Traitors on the Hopecast
Yes.
Network.
Oh, I love it.
I've
January.
never watched. Yeah, I've
So-
never watched Traitors before, but I'm looking at the cast and I'm like, I might have to be a first time.
My friend Ian is on it this season. My friend Ian from Big Brother from back in the day.
Yeah,
Ian
so
Carey.
if you're a Traitor fan and you want to hear episode recaps, come back to the Hopecast Network and you can hear Heidi from season 44 Survivor and I talk about Traitors because we both love that show.
I'm jealous. If you need a guest spot, I'm available. I love that show.
We might bring you on, Angie
I love
and
it.
Tony.
Well, I
Tony,
think
you
it's
need
a
to
great
start
way
watching
end
it.
I do. I need to. Should I like watch past seasons and then?
Nah, just watch this season.
You can just watch
Okay.
it. It's the
But-
same
But
concept.
Nicole says someone got sick.
Oh, that's why
so-
she was a replacement.
Which I feel like is a sad opportunity. I would hate if I got a chance to go on the floor and I get the craps and I can't show up on the set. That's what I would hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But then again, Tim, she was a plug-in, but she's been there now for 7 episodes.
yeah, she has time to catch up.
She has time to study. And if
Sure.
my wife
if she
sent me,
wanted to.
if my wife sent me to Ireland and I used it as an excuse for a vacay and I didn't try to win the money, she'd be like, Brad, I don't like you going over there and not studying. You need to be studying, Brad. That's what I would hear when I got home. I don't think I want to hear that.
Ashley might be single and ready to mingle. She may have had no obligations to anyone but herself. So I think, hey, it was
She
a
might
good way
be.
to end it. It was a pretty close battle. And we got a little sneak peek of the episode that's going to be on 2 weeks from now.
I didn't watch the sneak peek, Angie. You know my thoughts on the sneak peek. Gives
I know
way
you
too
love
much
the
away.
sneak peek, but it was a very small sneak peek and not a lot was revealed. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't blown away by it. So I think we're all going to be pretty surprised.
I
2 weeks is a Thanksgiving. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, it won't
Yeah.
be on Thanksgiving week. It'll be the following Thursday, which is when we will recap that next. It'll be the following Wednesday, excuse me, and we'll recap that Thursday.
Is that episode 10? I can't remember. Is that episode 10?
That'll be episode
this
9.
should be 9.
So we're not getting Nicole that episode. We're getting her the following episode.
Yeah, it'll be 9, then 10, and then the finale is a double whammy. So
Oh my
we're
gosh.
Wait, do we only have 3 episodes left?
that's it, my friend. 3.
3. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
We need to go. We need to have a finale episode with Tim needs to be on the finale episode.
Yeah, we'll have some very
Thanks.
special guests. Tim, you are welcome back for sure.
Let's bring Brian from season 3. Let's bring Keelan from season 2. Let's bring Jacqueline from season 1.
Yeah.
Do it.
we
I'm
have to-
very
I think-
not memorable.
Do you have
guys
enough
bring
credit?
them on
Can we
there.
bring your husband? What's his name? The young kid. Can we bring your husband on?
I'm not even going to dignify that with his name, Bradley. Oh, Andrew, if you're listening, I'm so sorry.
Andrew,
That's
yes,
a running
Andrew.
joke. Oh,
Can-
shoot. I did. Okay.
Can
Well,
we
no.
get? Can we get? Who was it? Keelan. I'd love to have Keelan on. Hey, let's have
Sure.
Keelan.
I'd love
I've
to have
never got to
Keelan
talk to
on.
We can get
Keelan.
Keelan. We can get anybody, man. See, that's the thing. People, we're a good pod. People like us. We don't roast them. They're more than happy. And
I roast him, Angie. I roast
Oh,
him.
well, the rest of us cushion the blows. It'll be all right. We'll take care of it. But thanks everybody for joining us. Tune in, not next week, but the following week after the floor. That Thursday, we will recap episode 9. Thanks again. Take care.
Happy Thanksgiving.